Good morning, guys. So I've decided to do a two-part series of range testing in this vehicle. So I've got the 2016 Nissan LEAF, the 30 kilowatt battery. So I've worked it out. I've got 85% state of health on my 30 kilowatt battery. So it gives me roughly around 25 kilowatts, let's say, of usable battery capacity that I'm able to use. So I'm going to do like a 40 kilometer or 50% usage northward drive, see what that, and return back to my house. And then I'm going to do a sort of a northwest drive, which is a lot more flatter, but I want to see how it compares. So that one, obviously the northwest drive, is a lot more flatter and calmer and straighter, so in theory we should get back better with better battery health or battery percentage. Whereas this northward drive I'm going to do right now, there's an extremely steep incline after, so I do 20 kilometers, and I think I worked out it was about a 5 kilometer steep incline going up the mountain before you start the descent again. There's a town about 100 kilometers north of here. I haven't ever driven to in this LEAF before, just because it's too far, and I'm worried it's a very mountainous up and down road, but we'll see how we get to the top of the mountain now. It's 17 degrees out at the moment. The battery is at 96%, still on charge. The gasometer is showing 192 kilometers of range. That's going to drop dramatically as obviously start ascending. I'm going to put LEAF Spy in, which calculates the elevation gain, and if I remember to, I'll check the app should it work at the top of the mountain to give me the exact elevation gain. We're at, I think it was 400 meters above sea level where I am at the moment. I'll double check now before I leave. Otherwise it's a pleasant day. We're taking the dog for a walk. He's chillaxing on the back seat there already. And then I'll report to later. See you later. Right, so here's an update. So I've driven 34.2 kilometers. The range, well, guesstimated range has dropped down to 62. So it's gone from 100, what is it, 100, it's called 190 down to 62. That's 130 kilometers drop in range. Just doing this trip, that's just how far north or sort of the elevation that we've gone. But the battery's only at 55. So if I started with 96, that's 41% percentage drop that we've done. I put B mode in now just to try and find a stop to pull over. This is about as far as my comfort levels go. I probably could go a little bit further. I don't think there's anywhere nicer place to stop after this. So there's a parking lot about 3 kilometers back where we're going to stop and do a bit of a walk around, stretch the legs. But yeah, the 30 kilometers, and I've got range of 62 kilometers left. Obviously all the way back it's downhill, and I'll be able to charge. The battery warmed up, obviously, because we were on throttle all the way. So let's see. I'd like to drive a little bit further, but not today. The temperature has dropped down to 14 degrees, so let's see how it goes. Right, so elevation wise, I just checked the app. We started at 209 meters above sea level. We're now at 1,259 meters above sea level, so that's 1,250 meter climb. So it's a kilometer in elevation that we've climbed in the LEAF. That's obviously the range just depleted because we're just going up and up and up and up and up. So that's something to think about. But hell, this place is beautiful. We've just been for a walk. If we look around, I mean, that's where we are at the moment. Oh, it's beautiful and tranquil. Yeah, it's so quiet. So we're gonna head back home, and I'll update you then. Right, so we just got home. We did a total of 68.1 kilometers. The range is now showing 104 kilometers of range. We have 57% battery. That means when I left the top of the mountain there, We were at, I think it was 55%. We've gained 2% or coming all the way back home, which is amazing. It's just one of those things with EVs. You can't plan it. You can't go or rely on the range that the car's showing. Obviously, because it needs to take into account all the terrain and that sort of thing. Obviously, the more newer vehicles take a lot of that into consideration. But just relying sort of my Leaf and this Gesso meter, just couldn't. So it was a good test today. I mean, got back home now, it's 23 degrees, so we're at 50% battery after doing 68.1 kilometers, 104 kilometers of range left. Obviously next week I'll do part 2 of the series, where we'll do the northwest drive, which is a lot more straighter and flatter, which will do 68.1, so we'll do 34 kilometers straight as far as I can. I think it turns into gravel eventually after about 25 kilometers. We'll see how it goes, and then come back home and then see how that range compares. So that's one thing to look at. It's a little bit hotter next weekend, but obviously won't be able to do any regeneration because it's a lot more flat. So let's see how that goes. Ciao.